Good afternoon, Rotarians, friends, and guests. I'm Hannibal B. Johnson. It's my privilege as president to welcome you to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. Greetings to the youth leaders who have joined us today. We welcome the students who attended Camp Enterprise and our Rotary Youth Exchange student, Lise Delafuse. If pressed to give you one piece of leadership guidance, young people, it would be something legendary coach John Wooden said. He said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. So be a person of integrity, and people will take notice." If you haven't already done so, please take a moment now to silence your cell phones. Thank you. And as always, a special thanks to Tom Wolfe for our pre-meeting musical interlude. Let's begin our program with an invocation from past president Dr. Muzan Biggs, song and pledge from Michelle Place, followed by visitor introductions from DJ Morrow Ingram.
Let us pray. Creator of all that is, we pray that what has divided us will merge, that compassion will be wedded to power, that softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, that both men and women will be gentle, and both men and women will be strong, that no person will be subject to another's will, that the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, that all will share in the earth's abundance, that all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, that all will nourish the young, that all will live in harmony with each other and the earth, and that everywhere will be called Eden once again. Amen.
Well, good afternoon. Let's sing America the Beautiful. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to introduce our guest, and if the guest and their Rotarian host would please stand so we can get a peek at you, I'd greatly appreciate it. Heather Buffington is here as the guest of Cindy Salter. Felice Calhoun is the guest of Lane Dolly. Over there. Kristen Kogerman is the guest of Bill and Barbara Kogerman. And Bob Riley is one of the host parents of our foreign exchange students. Thank you. Let's give them all a round of applause for being here. And now let's welcome our visiting Rotarians. From Broken Arrow, Lucy Laird. Hi, Lucy. And from Tulsa Sunrise and MSNI, VJ Lively. Hi, VJ. Thank you, and we hope you all come back and join us again.
Thank you, Muzan, Michelle, and DJ. Special thanks to this week's meeting sponsors, Pendergraph Systems, Inc., Doug Padgett, Associated Mortgage Corporation, Chuck Wilson. Our announcements. Committee meetings after this meeting. Programs committee meeting for 2019-2020 will meet in room 233. Come and enjoy casual conversation on all things Rotary tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Hotel Indigo Roof 66 Bar located at 121 South Elgin Avenue. Bring a friend, a prospective member, or just bring yourself for a wonderful time of social networking. Upcoming programs. May 22nd, next week, Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. May 29th, Shannon Rich, President and CEO of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, will be our speaker. Camp Enterprise is an executive-style 4-day retreat at which qualified high school juniors explore the fundamental challenges, opportunities, and obligations of the free enterprise system. Established in 1976, this unique camp was originally developed with the help of the American Management Association and the Rotary Club of Tulsa, using tools available from Junior Achievement. The camp provides a select group of high school juniors, recruited from over 45 Northeast Oklahoma schools, the opportunity to learn team building, leadership, and motivational skills, all while working within a real business simulation program. Campers meet and interact with some of Tulsa's top business leaders and work with international students assigned to their team. It is a global experience about what makes America's free enterprise system work. Please help me welcome this year's co-chairs, Karen McCannell and Rob Jones.
Hello. Let's see here. I'm Robert Jones.
I'm Karen McCannell.
And we have the pleasure of co-chairing 2019 Camp Enterprises function this year. And President Hannibal did a fantastic job of introduction. Kind of took what I was going to say. So we'll go ahead and show you guys the video really quick about what happened this year at Camp Enterprise. Where are you going? Yeah, that was great. Wow, this is epic music.
Those portions being worn out here, but they're pretty to tell a story.
Yeah. It was the lighting contrast. It's
If I could add, we are looking for someone who knows how to loop music properly into a slideshow for next year. Just saying.
You know, one of the pleasures from doing this project is really seeing these kids come from different states, different cities, not knowing another person, and really, over the course of 4 days, collaborate and become some of the best friends. We actually have some of the students here today. Guys, if you would mind, stand up, and so we could all see it. It's really cool to see these kids hang out after camp. I have the privilege of connecting with them on social media and everything like that, and so you kind of see them still hanging out, and I think that's just great. A lot of this camp couldn't have happened if it wasn't for the sponsors. Obviously, you saw a list here today. A big shout out to the Rotary Club Foundation, Philstrup Foundation, Terracon, Texas Roadhouse, Guru Stew, Camp Grit, We Be Trees, the Knolls did a fantastic job. They always do. Big shout out. We have some of the counselors here. If you were out there, could you please stand up so we could recognize you as well? And we have one shining student here with us today, Mikey, the recipient of the President's Award from Harvey gives this the President's Award out every year to the one student that really showed an initiative and an understanding of the Titan program, and Mikey did a fantastic job. So he was awarded a book by Milton Friedman, signed by Milton Friedman. So very cool prize there from Harvey Rowe. It is my privilege also, speaking on behalf of Harvey Rowe, my privilege to introduce the next Harvey Rowe. So Matt Redmond, could you please stand? Matt here is going to be taking over the incredible position of teaching these kids for future camp enterprises, and I think Matt's going to do a fantastic job. He's a CFA and very qualified. I'm going to turn it over. Do you want to?
Sure. One of the things that Rob and I had the honor of doing was recruiting guest speakers and people to come out and help us. And my first call, because of Leadership Tulsa, was to my dear friend Jeff Wilkie. And I'm just going to introduce him and let him tell you the rest of the story. So please welcome, with Hogan Taylor, Jeff Wilkie.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Wilkie, lifelong Tulsa, and I can tell you today, graduate of Camp Enterprise in 1987. You can believe it. Yeah, absolutely. So I got a call from my friend Karen, and as things happen the way they do, it's fortuitous because I still remember going to Sequoia State Park with a lot of juniors from Nathan Hale High School, which is where I graduated in 1988. And it was amazing, to say the least. You could say probably I'm part hoarder, part, I love memories. So I actually brought my notebook that we got. I've got my name tag that we got when we went through. And what I think is pretty awe-inspiring to me is I happen to have my agenda. I know, again, definitely I'm not watching enough Marie Kondo, The Art of Tidying Up, clearly. But Camp Enterprise in 1987 was pretty amazing. And I'm going to just give you some names of people, because for me as a lifelong Tulsan, to be a junior in high school like these guys who got to go through it, and to now see the impact that these people have made. Let me just tell you some of our agenda of people that we got to engage with. Jeff Davis, Executive Vice President of Arby's back in the day. Rob Melton from Melton Sales. Fred Davis, Davis Matos, Larry Wingate. I know these are kind of luminaries probably for Rotary. Rick Dodson, Jerry Simmons. Let's see here. One of my favorite sessions was a panel of presidents, and the title of the session was, "Looks Like I Made It, Didn't I?" And the presidents basically talked to us about the fact that once you get to leadership, the job is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. And so I can honestly say my experience there was one that stayed with me the rest of my life, and I'll tell you why real quickly. So our Mikey, or the Mikey in the program, was actually me. I actually got the award for the outstanding participant in the program, and back then, a gentleman by the name of Joe Yost. Joe Yost and Associates actually ran the Dale Carnegie program here in Tulsa. And as a then 17-year-old who kind of was in theater and things like that, I loved to talk to people and to be involved, but I didn't really know how to do it. And so I actually received a scholarship to go through the Dale Carnegie program when I was a senior in high school, and it changed my life forever. I actually was able to speak in front of large groups of people, and now today my profession is really to be a training and organizational development specialist. So I actually get to use this skill in the day-to-day work that I do, and I can really thank the Rotary Club for that tremendous opportunity and for that tremendous skill, hopefully, that I exhibit every day. What the last, yeah, thank you. So I will tell you just in kind of a couple of final comments, and then I'll pass it back over to my friend Karen and Rob. As you go through a program like that, and I'm sure these young people feel the same way, they're in a totally different kind of spot. Their life is just beginning. They're thinking about the future and thinking about what they'll do. And I would just like to tell you that there may be things that Rotary Club does, and I know they're very powerful and they make a huge impact on our community. But can I just tell you that this program does then, and still to this day, makes a huge impact on our community and our young people. I see it when I get to go and be a guest speaker at the camp, and I will just tell you that if you can, continue your commitment and deepen it, make it stronger, give more support to it, because private enterprise is something probably now more than ever that young people need, because with the onset of technology, as you know, it's much easier to start your own business. And in fact, I think I heard some really, like maybe 60% of the businesses that are successful are being founded by young entrepreneurs. I mean, this is the lifeblood of our economy, not just here in Tulsa, but across the world. And so I will just leave you. It's ironic. I saw Muzan kind of led us, and believe it or not, he was our keynote speaker, and he actually ended our program. And if his, let's see, Service Above Self was the title of his talk that he gave us. And yes, I have my notes that I took from him talking to us. And I will just tell him, he may not realize this, but he who profits most serves best. That was one of the things he said. We have to believe in the importance of people. Everybody has the right to feel good. And that was back in 1987, and I think about what he has done for our community just in that expression alone. Wouldn't you agree? Just in closing, I just want to say thank you again for the commitment that you have to Camp Enterprise. I hope that you'll continue that commitment, make it stronger, and for the great benefit it has been to my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. Oh, man. Thank you again, Jeff. Appreciate that. It's a pleasure to be a part of this, and we're actually looking forward to doing it again next year. We think this is a great way to share Rotary story with the youth, and we're glad to see it again next year. Before we go, we would like to kind of name out some people that really did help us out. As me and Karen, this was the first time that we did it this year, so we had a lot of help. Brian Bovaird was a great one. I mean, I think he should be up here with us, honestly. Jan Laub, Harvey Rowe, Eric Ortega, obviously the Knalls, Matt Redman, Johan. Where's Johan? Is he here today? Nice. And of course, all of our attendees. You want to run through them?
Sure. Luann Bullinger, Mike Homan. I don't know if Mike made it. Apparently his company is filming at the Gathering Place because they were instrumental in the Gathering Place. So kudos to him for that, but he missed out. Charles Seacrest, thank you. Brian Jackson, Becca Brian. Brian?
Yep.
I saw Becca.
I think she's here. She's right here.
There she is. And Tiffany Baker, Jules, Jeff Wilkie, Mike Rogers, Taylor Burks, Brandy Bynum, and Jake Lerner. So thank you all for giving of your time for that weekend for all these campers and students. We'll see you next year.
Thanks, Karen and Rob, for your leadership. Thanks to Jeff for that powerful and inspirational message. And thanks to all who volunteered and supported Camp Enterprise this year. We look forward to your continued support and engagement. Since 1929, Rotary Youth Exchange has been a part of Rotary International, and it continues to grow and change lives. Currently, about 9,000 students study abroad on scholarships by Rotary clubs every year. By the way, Tricia Kirkstra is still looking for host families and also a male counselor. That's Tricia right there. So if you want to know more, without any obligation necessarily, please see Tricia for more information. At this time, please help me welcome our own Rotary Exchange student from France, Lise Delafuse, and Doug Weddle.
Thank you, President Hannibal. For the benefit of some of our guests that don't normally attend our meetings, the campers namely, who may be a future Rotarian someday, one of the critical missions of Rotary International is the advancement, the development, and the facilitation of international goodwill, understanding, and world peace. And each year, as he mentioned, over 9,000 students leave everything that's comfortable in their home, their family, and venture and embark upon a journey abroad with the unknown factors. They will be hosted by Rotary clubs in their new host country. They will attend the high school that's organized by the Rotary Club, and they will fully engage and totally undertake to understand their new culture while they are with us. And we refer to our students as our Rotary ambassadors, and this is because, not unlike a career Foreign Service officer, these students appear and represent very proudly their country, but at the same time they come fully engaged to learn everything they possibly can about their new host country, as they will be with us for a whole year. And hopefully when they leave, they will be totally bicultural and take with them several memories. Before introducing Lise, let me first acknowledge and thank all of her support group, without which we could not carry out this program. So Jan Laub has been, please stand when I introduce you, has been her counselor for the entire year. And thank you, Jan, for all that you've done. Bob and Leslie Riley were her first host family, and their daughter Catherine is also here, and their daughter Beverly is also a member of the family. Thank all of you. And Gray and Shelley Strickland were also her host family. And I should also note that Gray and Shelley's daughter, Grace Strickland, is our outbound exchange student currently living in Japan. She will return in July, and hopefully we'll hear about her exciting year abroad sometime this summer. And finally, I'd like to thank our partner in education, Bishop Kelly High School, and Father Castle is president of Bishop Kelly, is here with us today. We thank you for the generosity of the accommodation of our students and providing an incomparable education for them. And thanks to your staff and teachers for their great service. Lise, bonjour et bienvenue à Club Rotary di Tulsa.
Thank you, Deb. All right, so today I'm basically going to be talking about my exchange year here. And so let's start by, excuse me for that, by this quote of Mariam Adene that said, "You will never be completely at home again because part of your heart will always be elsewhere. This is the price you pay for the richness of loving and knowing people in more than one place." So 284 days ago, I landed on the ground of the United States of America for my new adventure. And 278 days ago, I posted on my Instagram this with the same quote. But at that time, I didn't really realize what it meant, and it's only like 100 days ago that I really realized what it meant to be an exchange student and to get into my second life. So today, I'm going to be talking about basically those past 284 days, and also, so to start by my background, so who I am, and then about my new American environment, and finally, about my Rotary experiences. So where do I live in France? I live in Brittany, which is a region in the northwest of France. And in this region, I live in the south, and here is my town. So you can see it's pretty small, and it's about 10,000 people. Here are some more pictures. And yeah, so it's pretty small and cute and very European style. Then here is my home. So all the homes are about the same around where I live, especially in the town where I am. So it's in Brittany again. Then here is a harbor. It's like where is my boat, and we love to go there with my family, and we spend lots of time there sailing with also my sisters, because you'll see after my family. And here are some beaches which we also love to go with my family and also with my friends. It's very, very crowded in the summer, as you can see. It's like 10 to 20 times more people, which is a lot. The traffic is crazy. We have like 2 hours to get to the beaches that are actually only 10 minutes away from my house. So, and here is my family. So I have two of my parents, of course, and then I have 2 sisters. They kind of look younger than me, but they are actually both graduated from high school and college. So here they are. And then here are some of my friends that attend the same high school as me. And so my high school is about 1,300 students, which is not a lot because it's actually middle school and high school. And my town, so the town where is my high school, is kind of small, and it's 5 minutes away from my house, but it's actually really famous for its basilica, because lots of Christians and Catholics go there, and there are like lots of tourists. And I also used to be a gymnast, so here is my team, and we won, I think, only once, but which is still good. So I've done 5 years of gymnastics. So here is basically my background, where I am from, and it's just a little bit about my small world back in France. So now I'm going to be talking about my new American environment. So first of all, as you might know, we need to be hosted for the year, but I didn't have 3 host families, but only 2. So my first one was the Rileys, and I'm still with them right now. So on the picture, you can see the one on the right, especially, 2 of my host parents, so Bob and Leslie, and also my 2 host sisters, Catherine and Beverly. I really had a great time, and I still have a great time with them. Then this is my second host family. So I had host brothers, which was the first time in my life, but I actually really enjoyed it. So it's Gray and Graham. And their daughter is missing on the picture because she's Japan right now, as Duff said. So the thing with my 2 host families that I didn't expect it is to get so much along with them. And sometimes I feel like I'm just the luckiest exchange student to have to be with them, because not all of the exchange students have the same luck, I'd say, as I had. So that's the reason why I actually went back to the Riley. But also about the Stricklands, the thing is, moving host family is actually very hard. But they made it so easy, and I really appreciated that. And for both of my host families, the thing is that they treated me as their own daughter, and it's just so important as being an exchange student. So thank you for that. So now I'm going to be talking about the travels I've done with them. So I've been to Kansas City and to an Irish festival in the summer. It was really hot, but very cool. I really enjoyed it. Then I've been to Oklahoma City for a youth football game. At that time, it was actually freezing cold. I don't think we even stayed until the end of the game, but I was just amazed about the football game because it's not something that we have in France at all. Then I've been to 2 concerts, Bruno Mars and Bastille, and I love concerts. I've also spent Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Easter with them. But so we have Halloween and Easter in France, but we don't have Thanksgiving. So besides the fact that we actually ate a lot, it was really fun, and I really had a great time. Then we also went to a baseball game, and it's important to note that Bob loves sports, and especially baseball. And so he told me a little bit about it, and now I think that I'm just an endless lover of baseball, you know? So moving on to the Stricklands travels and activities, I spent Christmas and New Year's Eve with them. And the thing is, this time of the year is kind of hard because you're missing a lot your family, but once again, they made it so easy. We had some fireworks, which was my first time, and I was kind of scary, but it was pretty cool. We also cook a lot because the Stricklands, they love to cook, and me too, so that was a great part too. Then we went to the Nutcracker Ballet. And this was a little bit emotional because my mom back to France is a dancer, and so I was missing her whenever I was watching it, but it was because that's why I really enjoyed it. Then we went to see the Sanders in Oklahoma City, and I was very excited because we won at like the last minute, so pretty cool too. Then we went to Dallas, another big city for me when you see where I'm from, and so I also really had a great time there. And finally, we went to Colorado, and on the way back by Santa Fe, and we took one of my exchange student friends. So she's from Austria, and as you can probably imagine, she skis very well. We're a little bit behind with the family, but that was still pretty cool. So this year, I attended Bishop Kelly High School, and I really enjoyed it because the American schools are very different from the school, from my school back to French, as you've probably seen. But I kind of preferred it because there are so much more events, and like, for example, there are the dances that we don't have at all in France. So I went to Aloha Dance, Homecoming, and Prom, and I really loved to like dress up as a princess, basically. Then I also belonged to the cheerleading squad, and I'm really thankful about it because I know it was kind of a big deal. And so I made lots of friends at the beginning of the year, which was actually easier to make new friends. And so I really love all of those girls, and I hope I'm going to keep in touch with them. Then I've also been to Search, which is a spiritual retreat put up by Bishop Kelly campus minister. And this is something, I think this is basically one of my favorite memories from my year, because you just get to meet some people that you would not probably like go to in the school. And so you get along with some people like that, and it's just like special relationship. And so I think that I'm going to miss a lot of my American friends. And by the way, today was the last day of the senior at school, and it was really emotional too, with Anael, we know. And so yeah, I'm going to miss my friends, all of the events in the school that we don't have in France. So moving on my Rotary experiences, I attended RILA this year, which is a 4-day camp. And there I learned to express my feelings, to be myself, and enjoy what I already have in my life. I also went to Camp Enterprise, as you probably saw, and yes. And there I learned about leadership, managing a business company, and also about actually what matters for me in life. And I also made a few friends that are there, of course. Hi, guys. Another great part of being an exchange student is to meet other exchange students, because you don't really expect that you're going to get along so much and you are going to relate so much with people that you're only going to see like 10 times in the year. And it's those people that I think I'm going to miss a lot, because I probably won't see them, but we'll try at least. So, and there is also something in meeting people from all over the world, is that you realize how like colorful and different is the world. In fact, I went to SCRY, which is a get-together of 250 students, exchange students, and there were 4 girls that you can see on the picture. And those 4 girls, we became basically best friends in like less than 24 hours because they spent the night at our house. And so this is like how magical can be this adventure. So in fact, being an exchange student, we have ups and downs, which is totally normal, like it's just normal. But this is also like a roller coaster. But this is more than worth it. And the thing is just to get in the roller coaster and then letting go. So, to be honest, this year has been probably like the best one of my life, but also the hardest one of my life. But to be honest, I would literally totally do it once or even twice or 100 times again because I really loved it. So, to conclude, I am this 17-year-old girl that lives in the west coast of France, and I decided to leave my small world to make it a little bigger. And on my way from this adventure, I've been very lucky with my 2 host families that I really love, and also a welcoming high school, as much as all the 100 memories I've made all along. And so eventually Rotary brought me international friends that are actually my family now, I can say that. And so indeed, I think that Mariam Adeni was right. I will always be changed by this big journey, and part of my heart will always be in the heart of other people I've met, so elsewhere in the world. And this is why I think I'm going to travel even more in the next years and probably come back to Tulsa one day, because I really want to. So now I'd like to thank everyone who permitted my dream to come true. So I'd like to thank my Rotary Club of Tulsa, of course, and the one in France, my club in France. I'd like to thank 2 of my host families and also my family in France that always have been a support for me. I also like to thank Bishop Kelly High School and Father Castle for permitting me to attend their school. And I'd like to thank all of my friends, American, French, and my new friends, also the exchange students, because they also have always been a support for me. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening.
Banner for you. So to Lise, we say merci beaucoup. And we presented Lise with a banner from Rotary Club of Tulsa and a Be the Inspiration pin. We thank you very much. Special thanks to our Rotary Youth Exchange Committee for their dedication and commitment to Rotary International Study Abroad programs that provide students the opportunity of a lifetime. Opportunities to develop international friendships, broaden leadership skills, explore new worlds, learn new languages, and immerse themselves in different cultures. It's Sarge time, so help me welcome Daniel Gomez.
Good afternoon and welcome to our campers. A little advice, if you want to join this club in the future, all you have to do is become good friends with the president and you might get roped into this job. So I get to speak every week. You guys know me by now, it's been almost a year, and I get to raise money in creative ways, and man, we got a lot this week. It's pretty exciting. But I'm going to start off showing off Tulsa Lifestyle Magazine. Luann has brought a whole stack over here. I'm going to leave them here for those of you who haven't seen it, but the Rotary clubs, our clubs, Above and Beyond Awards were featured. The 2 recipients were named 2 of the female movers and shakers for the year. And you can see there's a little write-up on them. But as you can tell, the logo's in the back there. I just think it's pretty cool that we got this coverage, thanks to Luann. And again, we have some copies up here for you guys to take home if you want to read a little bit more about it. Okay, fines this week. Tony Otto donated $250. He's had 13 years in Rotary, and he shared this picture with me. This is his daughter, Sarah, who just graduated TU with a degree in accounting and CIS. Also in the picture on the left there is Tony's son, John, and John's wife, Natalie. They will be celebrating their 1-year anniversary this summer. So congratulations, Tony, to you and your family. It's great. Tom Wolf, he donated $200. This is his daughter who has spent the last year in Kazakhstan studying abroad. And she's actually boarding a plane, he said, here in about 4 hours and for a 20-hour flight home. So he's welcoming her home, sharing some pictures here. They're pretty incredible. It looks like she's going to have a lot to talk about. That's my favorite one, the faceless spaceman. I don't know what that means, but it's my favorite. But anyways, thank you, Tom, and congratulations, and I'm sure you're going to have some great stories. John Stava is celebrating 29 years in Rotary. he donated $129. He told me it's $29 for his years in Rotary and $100 if I agreed not to show his picture like I normally do. So I went ahead and found the familiar logo. We've all seen it a bunch of times because we all know that they've been great, of great assistance to this club. So thank you, John, for your generous donation. All right, so this was a big week for the dogs, and I never imagined that this would raise as much money as it has, but here we are. I got several this week. Let's start with Richard Holmes, $100. This is his Maltese Bentley. And Richard has also celebrated, or just recently celebrated his birthday, May 7th. So happy birthday, Richard, and you're in the running. That's a pretty cute dog. Lori Nad, this is Sammy, the dog. She also had a recent birthday, May 10th. So, I mean, I think the little neckerchief is an unfair advantage, but here you go, cute dog. Russell Gibbs and his dog Olive at the baseball game. I'm not sure if anybody knows, you can take the dogs there sometime. I don't know if this was Bark at the Park or if Russell just carries that much weight, but looks like a lot of fun. Thanks, Russell. Luann gave me this very noble picture. Her name is Lady, which makes a lot of sense because, I mean, she looks like, this looks like a royal dog of some sort. Very beautiful, in the running for sure. Thanks, Luann. This one's my favorite. Jan's dog, Sophie, and she tells me that this is her getting an earful because she passed up on the dog park. So. This is Bob Sade's dog, Daisy. His caption is, what's wrong? I hope y'all can see what the little dog did there, but the innocence, that's an unfair advantage. So this is Barbara and Colonel Bill's dog, Joey Butters. Okay, so they had a lot to say about him. He is full of personality, and he loves everyone. Says he possesses reasonable computer skills. When he said that, I'm wondering, making sure that you guys actually sent this. I don't know if the dog maybe sent this on his own. But here he is, very cute, in the running for sure. All right, Jake Dollarhide gave me $250. This is his family dog, Punky Brewster. And I guess I'll have to do it next week. This is actually a video. There's a 30-minute video on YouTube. And for $250, I'm going to play it for you guys. It's actually the most adorable thing you'll see. Another unfair advantage, but that's what you get for $250. So I'll put the video up next week. But as you can tell, it's a pretty strong entrant there. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Daniel. At this time, we have a special water roll presentation by Judge David Peterson.
Thank you, President Hannibal. A few weeks ago, we did a little bit of a program here, and you may recall that our Sergeant-at-Arms carried 40 pounds of it was actually cement because we didn't want to spill a bunch of water. And he raised a lot of money. In fact, he's raised so much money that at this time, Daniel, if you come up, he's raised more than $1,000 from the club. And so we want to give him this certificate. He is now the owner of a water well in Villa El Carmen, state of Managua. Now, we've been to El Carmen lots of times. We have good relationship with the mayor there, and they're one of the few committee, Rotary clubs down there, and citizens of El Carmen out in the suburbs, which are pretty poor, we've seen them actually dig ditches and link the water to other parts and other poor communities. And when they do that, usually the mayor puts in a electronic pump, which we've talked about, and they do that by hand. We've seen down in the ditch men, women, and children digging to share the water. So it's a special place, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Peterson. Please help me welcome Medical Supply Network Director of Operations, VJ Lively, for a special presentation.
Thank you. As you know, Medical Supplies Network got a start here in this club, and just so that you're aware, we have board members that are in 4 different states. Right now, we're looking for some new board members for the warehouse, so if you or you know someone who'd be interested in doing that, please contact me. And once a year, this club, the International Committee, selects an ambassador. This is how we help to fund our operations. And this year, the ambassador that you all have chosen is Tricia. She gets a pen, and her name will be going up on the website, and we will also have a plaque in the warehouse where her name will be posted on there.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. Thank you, Rotarians, for investing in our youth. Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." A book recognizing today's program will be presented to our partner in education school, which is Celia Clinton Elementary School. This week's book is When I Grow Up. So let's not lose sight of that grand Rotary International vision. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. With that, we are adjourned.